The biggest ultra-rapid EV charging network in the UK, and also the cheapest, is now open for business, and most EV drivers don't even know it exists. I'm Dave. Welcome to Dave Takes It On. Well, let's get the facts on this new giant cheap network. So before I quote a single figure, I need to say we use the UK Government as our source, which in turn uses other sources such as Zapmap for their official figures. Zapmap data shows that there is indeed a massive increase in the number of rapid and ultra-rapid EV public chargers in the UK, and claims that as the end of May 2024, the largest is InstaVolt, followed closely by Tesla Superchargers, then BP Pulse, Osprey, GridServe and a whole pile of others. These are commonly termed CPOs or charge point operators. InstaVolt claim around 1,600 chargers, with Tesla just over 1,500. But this is misleading. The Zapmap data combines rapid chargers up to 50 kilowatts and ultra-rapid chargers up to 360 kilowatts. For those of us looking for a quick charging session while out on the road, we tend to dismiss the rapid chargers. InstaVolt and BP Pulse have the majority of their chargers as rapids, 50 kilowatts and under, and they're located in various car parks, shopping centres, petrol forecourts and fast food locations. InstaVolt installs nothing faster than 160 kilowatts, even today, which is looking decidedly old tech. Osprey and GridServe have a majority legacy offering of 40 and 50 kilowatt chargers, many of them shared power, dual bay, although all their new installations are much more powerful units, and many offer the 800 volt charging at ultra high speeds for those that can use it. Correcting the table by removing the rapid chargers, 50 kilowatts and under, puts Tesla right out in front, as they have only ever installed ultra-rapid chargers, now 250 kilowatts, but even their oldest ones are 150 kilowatts. But of course, not everyone can use them. Many are still exclusive to Tesla owners. Well, then in 2022, Tesla opened 15 of their supercharger network to any EV with CCS2 compatibility, which includes almost all EVs on the road, with the exception of Nissan Leafs, Renault Zoes, and just a small handful of others that do not have CCS2. The number of additional superchargers open to all since then is growing rapidly. As from the 1st of June 2024, there are 68 locations and a massive total of 856 ultra-rapid chargers available to all EV drivers who have CCS2 sockets. This figure is constantly increasing, so might well be out of date even by the time we launch this video. That number puts Tesla open to all above GridServe, even counting their rapid chargers, and very much more than the likes of MFG, EV on the Move, GeniePoint, EVive, BEV, Fastnet and Ionity. But the difference is more than just the overall number of chargers. Many CPOs still only install a handful of chargers per location, and some then share that power between two bays. It's highly frustrating to arrive with a really low battery and find all the bays are occupied with a queue forming, particularly if some of those are queuing and only getting 20 or 30 kilowatts each from a shared charger. For many people, they don't have a choice, they have to wait. So the modern trend is to install larger numbers and provide dedicated power to each. We now often see more than 12 chargers per location to ensure that most EV drivers arriving find an empty charger bay, and each can draw the full quoted power. In some busy locations, as many as 20 to 40 individual chargers are on offer from one single CPO, and other CPOs may also operate at the same location, giving us well over 50 ultra-rapid chargers at a particular location from which to choose. Tesla Superchargers open to all now form the largest ultra-rapid charger network in the UK, and also the most powerful. Almost 85% of the open to all network is rated at 250 kilowatts and capable of providing that power even at peak times when all the chargers are working. Although each charger gets maximum power, the charging infrastructure is such that they can switch additional power to those demanding the absolute maximum by diverting it from those who are not able to use the maximum. Tesla are famed for their supercharger reliability, And at a recent meeting with the Tesla commissioning engineers, they confirmed that every single charger and every single charging event is closely monitored in real time. If a car fails to charge, it's logged. In fact, the car then goes to a different charger and is successful. A flag is raised against that particular charger that failed. If the car instead goes to another charger and is unsuccessful, its details are sent back for analysis, and the outcome might well be a software update fix for the car or the charger, maybe both. The supercharger network is constantly evolving. Tesla claim a reliability rate of 99.96% uptime, and I've actually seen this in practice in my travels. If I monitor the availability of chargers at any location, chargers that fail are clearly identified on the display or the app for all users to see. I've seen over the years many of these flash up as out of order, but almost all are cleared in an incredibly short period of time, far too short to get an engineer out there. Probably an over-the-air update or a reboot. It's the price that will attract most EV owners to use them. In preparation for this video, I did record the actual rate, peak and off-peak, for all 68 of the open-to-all superchargers in the UK. Zapmap states that the UK average price for all CPOs other than Tesla is 80 pence per kilowatt hour, while some, Instavolt, BP, Shell Recharge and others normally charge at 85 pence and above. Zapmap quotes the average price for a non-Tesla driver to charge at a Tesla Supercharger open to all is just 55 pence. I agree with this figure, but add that this is the peak hour rate. Off-peak, the average price for non-Tesla owners is nearer to 45 pence per kilowatt hour. All Tesla Superchargers operate a time schedule for pricing. The cheapest are offered off-peak and the dearest at peak times. These times are clearly displayed, and you'll find on average the dearer peak rates are applied only between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m, and all of the times are the cheaper off-peak rates. Other locations are different. A few locations have an extra off-peak rate, usually reserved for the small hours of the morning, and this can be as low as 30 pence per kilowatt hour for people just arriving and charging non-members. None of these prices are including memberships and monthly fees. These are the prices for arrive and charge, paying via a bank credit or debit card, a contactless bank card, or a banking app such as Apple Pay or Google Pay. Paying for the supercharger session. There is often confusion as to how to pay for your charging session because until 2023, none of the Tesla Superchargers even had a screen or a contactless payment terminal. Tesla EVs are registered to their owners and payment for charging is taken from a stored payment method automatically via the car. No card or app is needed, ever. Although we often do use the app to monitor how the charge is progressing. Many of these early chargers, the V2s and V3s, without screens or contactless facility, are included in the open-to-all supercharger network, and people confuse how to operate these. Because the charger itself is not capable of taking payment, you must use the official Tesla app. This is a totally free app. Anyone can download it, even if you don't have an EV yet. If you're about to take delivery of your EV and want to use the Tesla Superchargers at any time, it makes sense to complete this application process before it arrives. In the registration process, you'll be required to enter a payment method, debit card, credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, etc. Without this, you cannot pay for the charge you want. It is vital to be aware that this is not a membership scheme. It is merely a method that allows you to pay for your charging session when it's complete. The app does other things. It also allows you to choose which charger you'll be using when you arrive. Unlike Teslas, they can plug into any charger anywhere in the world without notice and instantly start charging and be recognised. For regular users of Tesla Superchargers, open to all, there is a membership scheme. It is offered at £8.99 a month and offers an additional discount to bring the prices you will pay to the same level we Tesla drivers already enjoy. All Tesla owners are automatically Supercharger members for free. While the idea of a monthly fee will not appeal to many, there is a very significant financial advantage in doing so. The price as a paying member can be as much as 15 pence per kilowatt hour lower than a non-member. So on a single 50 kilowatt hour charging session as a member, you could save up to £7.50. And the membership fee covers, of course, a full month, so future charging sessions during that month could also save you up to £7.50 per charge. A one-off £8.99 could, with a once-a-week charge of 50 kilowatt hours, save you £30, which is well in excess of the £8.99 fee. And as a bonus, there is no entry or exit fee. So, for example, if you normally charge at home or you use a local non-Tesla charger and you're going on a road trip or a holiday and want to use the Tesla Supercharger network open to all, you could enjoy the discount for the road trip and the remainder of the month when you get back, and then simply don't renew it. There is no penalty. Paying for your session at a Tesla Supercharger open to all is usually very simple, but is probably different, and that varies depending which charger you're using. The easiest to use are the V4 chargers. These are very different from other Tesla chargers. They're much taller, thinner, but they also have a solid body and a long cable that can reach your charging port wherever it's located on your EV. They also have a contactless terminal together with a display screen. As a non-member, simply pull up, swipe your contactless card, await confirmation it's been accepted, then plug in and charge. On completion, press the Stop Charging button. The plug will unlock and the correct amount will be taken from your chosen payment method. If you've chosen to become a member, you will need to use the app. This will tell the charger to apply the discounted rates. Simply open the app, select the location, select the specific charger number and plug in. Charging will commence, and on completion, the discounted payment will be taken from your chosen stored method. A copy of the cost of the session plus an invoice will be automatically stored on the app for future use. I still have invoices from 4 years ago when I first got the car. The older V2s and V3s are identified by the red hollow interiors, and they're the ones without screen or contactless, so can only be used via the app. It is not possible for a non-Tesla EV to charge without using the app. The procedure is straightforward. Open the app, select location, select the specific charger number, plug in and charge. On completion, press Stop Charging, remove the plug, and the correct amount will be deducted via your pre-stored payment. Which is of interest that Tesla prices constantly change, sometimes on a daily basis, although usually by only a few pence. Similarly, nearby superchargers might be at a different price, sometimes as much as 10 pence per kilowatt hour different. Charging at a Tesla charger will always result in the latest correct price being charged. When your first port of call is check your route planner supplied with your EV, as that may well have the Tesla Superchargers open to all clearly displayed. Use that. To find Tesla Superchargers open to all from the comfort of your own home, use the Tesla website, tesla.com. The top of the screen or from the menu if you're using a mobile device, locate the charging icon and select Find. In the Enter Location window, type in your location or where you want to charge, then from the drop-down menu, select that location, making sure that you select the UK one. The map will switch views to show your chosen location. In the labels under the section that's chosen, click each of the labels to deselect them all until only the one Superchargers open to other EVs is showing. The view will now display all the Superchargers open to all on the screen. You can expand or contract the view by pinching a touchscreen or by using the scroll wheel on your mouse. Likewise, the view can be altered by clicking, holding and moving the mouse. When you've identified your chosen supercharger, click on it to bring up more details, to include its location, postcode, a telephone support number, a list of the number and power of the chargers installed, a schedule of peak and off-peak hours of operation, the cost per kilowatt hour for each period, idle fees, amenities available, hours of availability if not 24 hours, and any special parking requirements such as registering your vehicle with a local hotel or shop. It is not possible to find out the occupancy or availability figures from this website. Open the app and from the menu select Charge Your Other EV. It will open to show a map of your location and the nearest open to all supercharger. Underneath it you'll see the name, so select that and you get details of how many stalls are there and the price together with the peak and off-peak hours. If you want to become a member to get the discount, the button to click is directly below Pay Less with membership under Learn More. If the supercharger is not the one you want, simply pinch the map to minimise it and all the superchargers open to all in the UK are displayed. You can zoom in on each one and or select it for more details. Each one shows occupancy or available chargers as, for example, 8 out of 12 stalls available. If the location is totally full, it will instead read short wait, and that means a few minutes, or a long wait, which means longer. You can find out if it will be busy before you get there. Because it is live in real time, the short wait literally means that. There is no huge queue of cars waiting, and some of the cars already being charged are nearing completion and will be leaving soon. You'll discover that while the V4 chargers have really long cables, and it's not an issue, the V2 and V3 don't. In fact, they have really short cables for many EVs. The charger is always located at the rear passenger side, so if your charging port is there, get as close as you can to make sure the cable will reach. If the charging port is on the front driver's side or the front, pull in forwards as far as you can and the port will be closest to the charger. Problems arrive when the port is on the passenger front or the driver's rear. Here you need to use a special technique. Pull in forwards or backwards to your chosen bay, but you will then find the plug and cable from the empty adjacent bay is closest. This is how you charge. You park in one bay and use a different charger. This does mean you will take up 2 chargers even though you are only using one of them. The other is blocked. Well, common courtesy states that if you do use 2 chargers, do not charge at peak, really busy times where that additional charger is desperately needed. Also, do not linger and try to get every single kilowatt hour into your battery. Far better to top up all you need, make an additional trip at a later time. It is strange that many of us, when we drove petrol cars, didn't top up right to the very brim every single time we stopped for petrol. Some did, but the vast majority typically put in what we needed for the week, maybe £20, £40 worth, and we only ever fill right to the very brim for a long journey. Adopting identical strategy for your EV is ideal. You do not have to top up to 100% every time. I never do. I prefer to arrive with about 20% battery left and top up to about 75% or 80%, then head off. It is really quick and easy. With an EV, topping up from about 20% to around 75 or 80% each time will be by far the quickest stop you will ever make. Charging from 80% to 100% can take 3 or 4 times as long again. Do you really need it? Because there are far fewer chargers, it is important to vacate yours as soon as you've finished charging. To encourage this, many CPOs make a charge for overstaying. This is not a charge for taking longer to charge your battery. It is a charge that applies only when you have finished charging. When you are no longer using the charger but are still parked in the bay, you are blocking it from others to use. After a period of around about 5 minutes from when you finish charging, if you remain there, an idle fee will apply, and that's often round about £1 a minute, and that can add up very quickly indeed. Be aware it is only charged if you have stopped and finished charging. If your EV is really slow to charge, you can remain there as long as it takes, as long as it is actually charging. If it is ever applied, it will be added automatically to your payment method. You can't avoid it. On occasions, you will arrive and find all the bays occupied and you're forced to go to another charger location or queue. There are no hard and fast rules for queuing, but the majority of locations have parking very close by, if not directly alongside then adjacent. In most cases, just make a note of which cars are already there queuing and take your turn when all of those ones have already moved before you. Unfortunately, as in all queues, there will be individuals that force their way in and jump the queue. Sorry, but for some people this is considered their right and there's not much will make them change. All chargers will have a phone number locally to report issues, or else on the app or on your display. It is a good practice to report incidents, as some of them might not be apparent from remote monitoring, such as a smashed or cracked plug handle. The operators are generally pleased to hear of such faults. If you have a complaint, state it clearly and calmly and what steps you have already taken to remedy it yourself. If you're given any, follow the instructions the operator may give you, as they may have a set procedure that does reset and cure the majority of issues. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoy your sessions at the Tesla Open to All Superchargers. I'm Dave.